'Twas the night before the MLB Winter Meetings started in Nashville, Tennessee. I was getting ready to turn in for the night until I saw a tweet come across my phone and thought, oh shit, it's happening.
Oh my God, okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down.
The tweet was from Ken Rosenthal. He stated the Braves have acquired Jared Kelenic from the Mariners. Sources tell The Athletic. Rest of deal is not yet known. Well, now we know the rest of the deal, at least most of the deal. Per Ryan Divish, the Mariners have traded Jared Kelenic, Marco Gonzales, and Evan White to the Braves in exchange for right-handed pitcher Jackson Kowar and right-handed pitcher Cole Phillips. We'll get into who those players are in just a second. Ryan then said, with Marco Gonzales headed to Atlanta, JP Crawford is now the longest tenured member of the Mariners. And it was 5 years ago to the date that JP Crawford was traded from the Philadelphia Phillies to the Mariners, December 3rd, 2018. Shortly after the trade was announced, Dipoto and the M's front office was available for questions in the M's suite at the MLB Winter Meetings. Here's what he had to say. He said, first and foremost, we add another couple of young pitchers to the fray. We really like the physical talent of both guys, and this is an area where our group excels. And then there's the obvious, which it creates a good deal of payroll flexibility that we do intend to go out and put to immediate use to make our team better. And the Seattle Times article states that as a member of an opposing team's front office pointed out, they are selling Kelenic for nothing so they can dump 2 contracts. Dipoto went on to say that our payroll is very likely to be higher than it was a year ago, but we needed to create flexibility if we wanted to do things that could make us meaningfully better. Dipoto said he would like to add multiple bats to the Mariners lineup, and shedding payroll opens new avenues to do that. Then the Mariners general manager Justin Hollander stated, obviously the offseason doesn't end on December 1st. We need to go out and we need to get better. And before you can do that, you have to create pathways to go do that. And this just opens up more pathways for us to do that. And then we have Jeff Passan stating that the Braves-Mariners deal was quite simply a money dump for Seattle. Atlanta takes on the salaries of White and Gonzales and gets Kelenic, whose upside remains tantalizing. Phillips was a second-round pick in 2022, and Koar was a first-rounder in 2018. So how much money exactly are the Mariners freeing up in their payroll by trading off Marco Gonzales and Evan White as well as Jared Kelenic? Let's take a look at that. Apparently the Mariners are also sending some cash to the Braves. We don't know exactly how much is being sent over, but that'll also be factored in at some point. So looking at Marco Gonzales' contract, he is currently under contract through the 2024 season, and there's a club option for 2025. In 2024, Marco Gonzales would be due $12 million. 2025's club option would be $15 million, and there is no buyout if the club decided not to pick up that option. Marco Gonzales now is fully healthy, and if you think of the Mariners pitching staff as of opening day 2024, as of right now, it's Luis Castillo, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, then you have Emerson Hancock, Marco Gonzales fully healthy. You have Robbie Ray coming back around the All-Star break or after that. So at some point, there's going to be too much pitching in the starting rotation. So Marco Gonzales was an expendable guy. They sent him off to Atlanta. But before we write him off completely, Marco Gonzales has been a big piece for the Mariners ever since he joined the club back in 2017. He's been with the club from 2017 all the way through 2023. He was an innings eater, a grinder. He had a nasty changeup. He saw the top of his potential from 2018 through the 2021 season. Now looking at Evan White's contract, if you think back to the offseason in 2019, Evan White signed a 6-year, $24 million contract extension, essentially buying out his arbitration years. At the time, he was the Mariners' number 4 prospect at first base. He had a solid defensive year in 2020, but then the injuries started to rack up in 2021, and we haven't seen him since. So left on his contract in 2024, there is $7 million that is owed. In 2025, there would be $8 million. Then there's 3 club options directly after that, each of which has a buyout if the club doesn't want to pick up that option. As for Jared Kelenic, he's under contract through at least the 2028 season. He is still pre-arbitration, so he would be paid the league minimum salary. In 2023, that was $729. Probably going to be around $750 in 2024. Not much salary to save there. So taking a look at those contracts face value, you got Marco Gonzales at $12 million in 2024. Add that to Evan White's $7 million in 2024. That's $19 million that they freed up right there. If you look at Evan White's additional year and the buyouts, the Mariners are saving around $31 million by giving up Evan White's contract and Marco Gonzales. We don't know exactly how much the Mariners are sending back to the Braves, but give or take $19 million for next year that they just saved, $31 million over the next 2 years or so. And then as Brock Heward points out, with the moves so far this offseason, they did not extend a qualifying offer to Teoscar Hernandez, saving them about $20 million for 2024. They traded Gino Suarez, getting rid of his $11 million salary. Marco's salary going away is $12 million saved. Evan White's contract is $7 million for next year, and Jared Kelenic is around $770,000 for next year. Add in Urias's $4 million to $5 million that he is due, and that is $50 million. 5-0 that the Mariners have now freed up in potential salary for next year. They have to be gearing up for something big. So who are the Mariners getting back? Well, one is hard-throwing right-handed relief pitcher Jackson Kowar. The very common theme with the Mariners is the hard-throwing part. They're basically going for velocity, and they're hoping that the Mariners pitching lab can really dial in their metrics, because Jackson Kowar, like Carlos Vargas, who was acquired in the Eugenio Suarez trade from the Diamondbacks, hasn't seemed to be able to find his command so far in his career up to this point. Koar has been in the Royals system ever since he was drafted in the first round in 2018. Koar was traded just last month to the Braves in exchange for the Braves' right-handed pitcher Kyle Wright. In 2023, Koar split time between AAA and the majors with the Royals. He pitched 45 1/3 innings in AAA. He pitched 28 innings for the Royals. And in both of those stints with AAA and with the majors, the numbers look pretty much identical. He had his strikeouts per nine around 9.3 to 9.7, and then his walks per nine were identical at both levels at 6.4. As I mentioned, pretty identical to Carlos Vargas, who was acquired by the Diamondbacks. Carlos Vargas apparently has hit 101 miles an hour, 7.7 strikeouts per nine, and a walks per nine of 6.8. You take a look at Jackson Kowar's Baseball Savant page, and the only thing that stands out is, again, the fastball velocity. He's in the 91st percentile in fastball velocity, averages 97 with the fastball. He also has a changeup and a slider. I will also point out that if he qualified, his barrel percentage and hard hit percentage were also looking pretty good. And at first glance on the eye test, the guy has a dirty slider, and check out this changeup. Devin Williams, anyone? The other part of this trade is Cole Phillips, who's a right-handed pitcher. He is 20 years old, 6'3", 200 pounds. Currently, he's in rookie ball. He was drafted in the second round by the Atlanta Braves in the 2022 MLB draft. His fastball is at a 70 grade, which is above average. And at the time of the trade, Phillips was the Braves' number 7 overall prospect. And here's what his bio on MLB.com had to say. Phillips was rushing up draft boards in the spring of 2022 as reports flowed in of the Texas Prep right-hander hitting triple digits with his fastball. He seemed like he had a shot at being a first-round pick until the train derailed temporarily by Tommy John surgery in April. He had been scouted regularly prior to the injury, and the Braves felt comfortable enough to take him as their third straight high school arm in the 2022 draft, signing him for $1.5 million as their second-round pick. Compared by some to big leaguer Nathan Eovaldi, a Texas high schooler who blew out his elbow as a junior, Phillips' improved strength had led to a repeatable delivery and more strikes. The first step for him will be to build back up and make his professional debut at some point in 2023. So my thoughts on this trade right now, I am just as shocked as you are that Jared Kelenic is being shipped out. I wish Jared the best of success moving forward. Clearly the dude is super intense. He wants to win. He has the passion and that fire. Sometimes it can get a little too much, but we've seen over the past 3 years that he's had on the big league stage that he's started to grow and develop. Yes, he kicked a cooler and broke his foot last year in September, but beyond that, you've been able to see him reel in his emotions quite a bit. He's improved at the plate. He hasn't lived up to his potential, but hopefully a change of scenery in Atlanta is going to help that out. If you're a Braves fan, clearly you got some high potential in Jared Kelenic there. Marco Gonzales will eat innings for you guys. And Evan White, I hope he can stay healthy and contribute as well. And if you're a Braves fan watching this video, go check out my player profile video on Jared Kelenic after this. I made a video summarizing his entire career up to this point. You got a potential stud out of Jared Kelenic. And then we'll have to see what contributions Jackson Kowar can provide to the Mariners this year. He's under contract through about 2029, give or take. Then we'll have to keep an eye on Cole Phillips as he starts to come through the system. He has not thrown a professional pitch in baseball yet. But of course, everyone is thinking, like, what's going on? We basically just traded Jared Kelenic as a salary dump to get rid of 2 contracts. Basically, the Mariners are saving $29 million, give or take, over the next couple years. The Mariners have to go out and spend. They have to go out and acquire impact bats. There's been the rumors of the trade with the Tampa Bay Rays in Randy Arozarena, as well as Isaac Paredes, a third baseman in Paredes, and then Randy Arozarena, an outfielder. The MLB winter meetings are Monday through Wednesday, so we should start to see some big moves happening via the trade market and free agency. Some of those big dominoes will start to fall in Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto and some others. We'll see where Blake Snell goes, if he can be a Seattle Mariner. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this trade, what you think the Mariners will do this week. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as I'll keep you posted as soon as there's any news with the Mariners.